I remember my mom when we were like pretty broke. It was like, you know, like stocking stuffers.
Yeah.
Like, just like that. I remember having a few Christmases where it was like, or like one time where we went to a dollar store and she was like, go pick out 5 things. And like, that was Christmas. Just like,
right.
But it didn't feel bad at the time. It
yeah. Because it's all about the standard that you set for your kid. Exactly, if your kid thinks that's kind of normal, then
yeah.
It's only once you start engaging with like other people's families and you realize that other people have different standards. Still
kind of like works in today's time, but you just can't compare yourself to other people. But it's so true.
But now it's because it's like if my kid is like 15, she's going to be able to look at like the Kardashian 15-year-olds and what they're getting for Christmas.
You can make comparisons like, Adam,
you have a kid.
Yeah.
Well, congrats.
And she don't know what the going on right now, but when she gets older, it's like she's going to compare herself to all these rich and famous people, and it's going to suck.
How old is she?
3.5.
Damn. So is she talking and everything?
Oh yeah, she never shuts up.
What's it like having a kid?
Like the sickest thing ever. So it's like a little mini robot of yourself.
That's awesome.
That you've just created, and they just do things all day.
It's funny. I was like recently, last like year, I remember I was thinking like getting a girl pregnant, the whole thing, your life's over. And then like the first time in my life, I'm like, yeah, it sounds kind of fucking awesome. Like, having a kid and getting married. And
how old are you?
Thing. 30. 31.
That's when it really starts making sense in your head.
Yeah. I'm just too busy. That's my problem. But I don't know. Maybe it would make you slow down.
I also feel like you just can't, like, you need a wife and you need a housekeeper or a nanny or something.
Yeah.
Like, you can't expect to be like a full-fledged entrepreneur and actually be doing all this shit yourself. You just need a lot of help.
I feel like I have a problem with that. I do everything by myself. Like, I don't like having someone doing my laundry or doing any shit for me. So,
really? Even the laundry?
Dude, I don't have any. Like, because I experienced that with the whole Nelk shit and having, like, someone do everything for you. And I also just felt like I became like this, like, like my dog needs a haircut. I'm just so used to calling an assistant or something. I don't even know who to call. You know what I mean? So I kind of went through a year of like learning how to do everything for yourself again. Cause I don't know, felt like useless.
Yeah. There's definitely some value in that. Otherwise, you're just like Britney Spears.
Yeah.
You're just like, I'm the celebrity in the room. I'm the important one, so I'm not gonna be tasked with doing any of the bullshit.
Yeah.
But it's like, it sounds. There's a lot of value in being a normal person too.
100%. You're missing out on like. I remember seeing this like Mac Miller interview back in the day where he was like. He was like moving to a new apartment. He was unboxing his own shit and all that. And he was like, yeah, my therapist or my whatever was saying I need real life experiences. And that like hit me so hard. I was like, it is true. Like right now I'm like painting my living room, but I like painting my living room. Like that's not negative. You know what I mean? I think people think of that as like, yo, you got money, just pay someone to have a nice living room. But I like walk by a room I just painted or did some shit and it makes you kind of happy that you did it, you know what I mean?
Right.
So
yeah, because I mean with you guys it was like over the course of I don't know, like a year or two, it seems like you guys went from totally normal, like just chasing that dream so hard, just wanting to be something and realizing like relatively early on that like YouTube is the thing that could take you guys from being regular dudes to where you felt like you needed to go. And then all of a sudden in like a flurry of a few months you just reach this level where all of a sudden you're living in the phase house and like I was just listening to you guys talk about it and like Kyle said something about how even at that time y'all realized like we need to stay Canadian. Like we need to hang up the Canadian flag because once we're in this environment, there's nothing separating us from everybody else who lives out here in LA, and most of them don't have like a culture that they're proud of or like something that they're coming from that they still want to represent.
I think we were lucky with we didn't have visas, so we always had to go back to Canada. You can only be here for 5-6 months, I think, when we were hanging out with you and stuff. But we used to think it was a blessing. It was like you go back home and you kind of get grounded again.
Yeah.
Because like LA just felt like, especially at that time, LA was like a video game. It was just like, I don't know, nothing felt like real kind of. It's just craziness every day.
I mean, that was the time period where like every day it was like, oh, now there's this person called Lil Tay. She's famous. And she's a 12-year-old Asian kid. Like there's just like a new rapper every day, a new YouTuber every day. Like the machine that was pumping out characters at that time was just like in complete overdrive, and it was just, I don't know, everyone was vlogging, people were figuring out podcasts. It was just like, it was a wild time.
Do you still have that spot on Hollywood?
Yeah, on Melrose, but yeah.
Oh, Melrose, my bad. Yeah,
we didn't have it for 3 years, but now we're back.
Really? Just a store now, or?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, you used to do the pod over there, right?
Yeah, and we still have a podcast set up there, but like I feel like that Melrose energy, we got like a 3 or 4 stores like kind of in a row in like a 3-block radius there that like are all the homies and stuff, so it feels like some of that energy is coming back. Like I want kids to know like you could pull up to Melrose and be able to like hit a bunch of different locations that you want to check out like that. You kind of need that promise, because people aren't going to just go there if there's only like one store that they want to hit. And now Fairfax is it's like nothing on Fairfax.
Is it?
Yeah, it used to have like 10 clothing lines that were at least like kind of interesting, and now they're almost all gone.
Really? Yeah, it used to be the whole thing. You go pop down there,
go to Supreme like, or something.
Yeah, is it Round 2 or?
Yeah, Round 2's gone. Supreme's gone.
Round 2's gone?
Oh yeah, they've been gone for years.
This the vintage place.
Yeah.
No way.
And it's wild because I remember Cool Kicks being like the Round 2 copycat, sort of, because they were both from like Virginia, and they sort of like were doing the sneaker resale / making YouTube content thing.
Yeah.
And then like somehow Cool Kicks just like figured it out better than Round 2. And then I don't even know what's going on with Round 2 as a brand, but I know that store's closed.
Yeah, because I was just at their location in Chicago like 6 months ago. I thought they were like scaling and doing, I don't know.
I think they closed down during the riots.
Oh, I see, yeah.
And I remember Sean like saying some shit on Instagram and like getting canceled for it, but that was like during a time where everybody was getting canceled for everything. Because like, if you said like, hey, I'm sad that somebody trashed my store and burnt it to the ground, it was like, no, you are part of the problem.
I'm glad that pendulum swung back, though.
Yeah, back to normalcy.
Yeah, it's probably gonna swing too far the other way now, but I don't know.
Kamala will help us get there.
Yeah. I don't follow any of this politics
You
shit.
shouldn't, honestly. It sucks. Yeah.
Are you like following it?
I try to like follow it a tiny bit.
Yeah.
I'll try to like spend 20 minutes a day like listening to the news. I listen to the Daily, and I try to not listen to anything else besides that. Because that's like 20 minutes of like actual real world news that I need, and then I can just go back to the hip hop world.
Do they swing a certain way?
It's the New York Times, so yeah, they're definitely part of the liberal machine, but I feel like they're largely fair. It's not like listening to like the liberal version of Ben Shapiro.
Yeah.
At least attempting to be even keeled.
Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah. But okay, when did it start creeping into your head that you weren't fulfilled with the Nelk thing? Was it as early as when you guys were first staying in the Phase house, or when did that start to come into your mind?
Oh, it was a lot later. I mean, it really all came down to probably getting arrested and going back to Canada. I mean, that was like, it wasn't even getting arrested. It was really like going back to Canada and then watching your company like blow up and flourish and get a mansion in the hills and do this whole thing. And
you got arrested for what?
Multiple times, right?
Yeah, this was like a stupid prank where I was just covered in blood at a Barnes & Noble.
Oh, yeah, and you were trying to ask people to help you try to like bury a body or something?
Yeah,
I remember that one.
How to clean up a dead body for dummies. And then, but what was is that I went back to Canada and I'm awaiting this like trial. It took like 7 months. And all I'm hearing is like, you're looking at 6 months. And I'm like, dude, it was just so, I mean, I was waking up like covered in sweat, anxiety, like, you know what I mean? Just thinking I'm going to go across the border, tell them I'm crossing the border to go to a trial and then might not be going home is like, just gave me enough anxiety to me up a bit or like straighten me up. So it's probably a good thing, but it was just a wake up call. And then like I've said before, I just don't really, I don't need a lot to be happy financially wise. And I had money and I took care of my family. I was just like, pretty much like, I'm not going to do anything that doesn't make me happy anymore.